but like we're at the very early stages of a brand new world built on a different type of money. What does that mean to you?
One of the first things, maybe not the first thing, but one of the things you start to realize after you've spent a bit of time in this space is that all the memes are true, right? Like, and you
stayed for the gains, came for the gains, stayed for the revolution.
100%.
One of my favorites.
So true. I love that. that. The other one is that Bitcoin fixes this. Because I remember I heard that at first and it's sort of like, it's like to the man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And these Bitcoiners have got this shiny new toy and it's just going to do everything. And then you start thinking about it. It's not a panacea that just solves every human problem. Of course not. But gosh, it fixes a lot of things. And it's such a big hyperbolic statement to say that to someone who hasn't looked at any or thought about these things independently or from first principles. It just sounds like bonkers, right? Like I thought people were bonkers, and then I'm at a point now where I genuinely
believe
that the world will have less wars, we'll have less misallocation of resources, we'll have less grift. But it looks from the outside that there's this big community of people who are just trying to win Lambo. When am I going to make $1 million? I'm going to buy this magic internet token and I'm going to be insanely rich and I'm not going to do anything for society. And look, let's be real. There is a chunk of people that is appropriate to. But by sort of sneakily coming into play, it really will. It changes the incentives. Charlie Munger, show me the incentives and I'll show you the outcome. And when you change the incentives of money, the very tool, like I would put money as way up there with the wheel and fire in terms of what it has done for human civilization.
In great context as well, that, right? People don't really think about it in that sense.
No. But it's an invent, or it's a discovery, perhaps is a better way to put it. But it just, without money, we don't scale as a civilization. We are in tribes of 300 or 400 people max. All right. Now we are in an interconnected global economy of 8 billion people. The short answer, money. So it's kind of a big deal. Like the fact that I can coordinate with someone, in fact, with literally thousands of people from around the world who I'll never meet, and I've got no idea if I can trust them. Doesn't matter. If I trust the money, we can interact and we can coordinate. In fact, we can do it in such a way that our revealed preferences will make sure that the allocation of resources is done in the most hyper-efficient way possible. It's an absolute mind blow of like a concept. And so when you start to realize and the penny starts dropping on all of this, it's a big deal. And you want Bitcoin to win because you're probably against war and against grift and against corruption and against, unfairness and against, all of this cost of living stuff that's just not going away. I mean, who does it hurt the most? It hurts the poor. So I'll be honest with you, Joe. I'm a lefty from way back, right? I was in the uni days. I was the stinky hippie, smelling of something, handing out the green. Like I'm so embarrassed to admit it, but I was young and I was idealistic and I was naive, right? And so I've got a lot of friends on the left, and unfortunately, they see Bitcoin as a thing of the right, and they see it's a Trump thing nowadays as well. So it's like they instantly dismiss it because of that political kind of stuff. But I keep telling them, if you're for the empowerment of the little guy,
fairness,
and fairness, who gets screwed over with inflation? It's the poor. I've got assets. If you've got property and shares and that, you're fine. Inflation, you're protected from it. Still sucks, but much less. Like if you're a wage earner with no assets, you are screwed. You have had a 30% pay cut since 2018 or something insane. Your savings have been eviscerated. Your earnings power has been eviscerated, and there's no silver lining. Someone who's got a portfolio, my share market's at a near record all-time high. I got a house. I'm doing fine. Like, how is that fair? How is that fair? How can you be on the left and be for that? Right? Like, it's sort of like, stop treating this as a partisan kind of thing. This is something that is going to bring in an era of fairness, likes of which no political ideology has ever been able to do. And it's so hard to see. And again, I'm cringing as I say this because I've said it to so many friends and I just get that look of you've got two heads. But I genuinely believe it because money is so fundamental. It is so important. It touches every part of our lives. and to think that we can now have a global money that is completely permissionless, that is completely immutable, that is completely open and fair and transparent. Like it is the historians, in hundreds of years will write back. This is a civilizational turning point, as big and profound, if not more so, than the internet itself, or the printing press, or the Magna Carta. Again,
Big
I know how this sounds.
deal.
It's a big fucking deal.
Yeah,
and all of those things were laughed. All of those things were laughed at. Like, I forget the saying, but it's like transformational technologies are always overappreciated in the short term and underappreciated in the long term. So something comes along, it's like, this is huge, and the advocates go, it's going to change the world, and then it just doesn't happen as quickly as we expect, and it all sort of falls away. And then in the long term, it turns out that no, this changed.
They were right. Yeah,
they were changed. There was a world pre-electricity. There was a world post-electricity. There's a world pre-steam engines, post, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Bitcoin is way up the top of that list.
Oh, I can feel your passion and excitement and energy literally coming through. It's absolutely awesome. And again, that's not uncommon, right? You turn into a kind of advocacy machine. My orange pilling attempts have slightly changed over the years. I think initially I was, when I first really got into it, I'm like trying to tell literally everyone. And now I'm not nearly as aggressive with it in a sense.
Do you know that very quickly, just before I said all the memes are true, have you seen the meme with the metronome and it's clicking back and forward? And on one hand, it's like, oh my God, I have to tell everyone I know about Bitcoin. It's so important. And then it's fuck them on the other side. And that's where I go in my orange feeling. It's like, I've got to tell you. I'm like, oh, fuck you.